Hi everyone, today we're going to look at dividing fractions. What do you know about dividing?
Dividing is when you share things amongst friends and you find out how much you have. For example, let's say we have 5 pizzas and we share it between 4 people. Let's draw 4 circles to represent each person. Then each person will get 1 pizza and the 5th pizza will be cut into quarters and shared evenly. We can look at each circle and see what the answer is. 1 1/4. Or let's say we have 5 pizzas and we share it between 2 people. Let's draw 2 circles to represent each person. Then each person will get 2 pizzas and the 5th pizza will be cut into halves and shared evenly. We can look at each circle to see what the answer is. 2 1/2. Or let's say we have 5 divided by a half. Let's draw half a circle. Then we will share the pizzas evenly. We have to complete the circle to see how many in one circle. And it's like 5 times 2 because the answer is 10.
Let me write that down. So we have 5 divided by half, and you said it was the same as 5 times 2.
Oh, that reminds me. Remember last lesson we had 5 times a half and 5 divided by 2? They were both equal to 2.5.
Let me write that down. Let me ask you something. What's the opposite of the opposite?
The same thing?
Like when you say you don't not like pizza.
It means I do like pizza.
Yes, say we had +1. What's the opposite of plus and what's the opposite of 1?
Opposite of plus is minus, and opposite of 1 is -1.
What do you get?
-1, which is the same as +1.
In maths, we call opposites inverse. We can do the opposite of the opposite as they are the same thing. When we divide by a fraction, we can multiply by its inverse.
So if you had 3/5 divided by half, that's equal to 3/5 times 2 on 1. So when you divide fractions, change the divide to times and flip the fraction.
When we divide by a fraction, we can multiply by its inverse. 3/5 divided by a half is 3/5 times 2/1. And then you multiply across like we did last lesson. 3 times 2 is 6, 5 times 1 is 5. Let's look at another example. 2/7 divided by 5/14. So you multiply and you flip the second fraction. So you go 2/7 times 14/5. And don't forget from last lesson that we can simplify when we find common factors. 7 divided by 7 is 1. 14 divided by 7 is 2. So now we can multiply across and we get 2 times 2 is 4. 1 times 5 is 5. What if you have mixed fractions?
You can convert it into improper fractions.
So 1 2/3 divided by 5/7. We have to convert the mixed number into improper fractions. So we have 5/3 divided by 5/7. We then change to multiply and flip the 5/7. Now we multiply across to get 7/3, which is 2 1/3.
So dividing fraction, turn your division into times and flip the second fraction. And for mixed numbers, convert to improper fractions first. Bye,
Bye.
Guys. Or let's say, no, that sounds very
It's that the answer is, not what the answer is.
No.
It's okay.
Keep going.
So 1 2/3 divided by 5.
It's okay, say it again.
It's confusing because it's one, like it's.
What's supposed to say?
So I have.
Just read it.
So, and 2/3.
Go back.
So
Just
one.
read what it says.
Just read it. Yeah,
Don't
that's
So
change it.
1 and 2.
Wait.
Go again.
Ready, set.
So and.
It's okay,
Just go.
go. Just
Go.
read it.
Okay.
Oh, you keep reading the end wrong. What are you doing?